Virtual Racing School was developed to provide support to the next generation of sim racers. No matter if you're a rookie or veteran or what car or track you'll be racing, our goal is to provide training every step of the way. We found that iRacing can be quite difficult without proper training. There needed to be a way to prepare for on-track racing. With VRS, you can literally learn from the best sim racers in the world, including 4-time NASCAR iRacing World Champion Ray Alfala.
And Ray Alfala is a 4-time champion of the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze iRacing Series.
3-time iRacing Grand Prix World Champion Martin Kroenke.
Martin Kroenke becomes a 3-time world champion.
Rallycross World Champion Mitchell de Jong.
Mitchell de Jong is now champion for the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series.
And many other top sim racers. Data packs include everything you need to start learning. Our World Championship coaches create the data packs by setting a hot lap or a series of fast laps for you to compare, analyze, and replicate. Data packs also include a tutorial where the coach points out techniques they use to hit the fast lap. This gives you access to the latest driving techniques and setups before you even hit the track. Sign up for a free account and download the VRS telemetry logger. With this application running seamlessly in the background, your laps automatically start syncing to the VRS website. From there, you can analyze and compare 2 laps of your choice, whether it's your data, the coaches, or your teammates. VRS will automatically target improvement opportunities so you can get up to speed even faster. VRS also makes it easy for you to request and schedule one-on-one or group coaching sessions. These sessions can range from 30 to 90 minutes, and you can select the car, track, and setup combination of your choice. Visit virtualracingschool.com today to sign up and get started.
Howdy everybody, and welcome to the Apex Racing Academy VRS F3 Super Series here at Spa. I'm Austin. I'm joined by Sam Fitzpatrick and Adam Thompson in the commentary booth, and we have the one, the only, the wonderful Marco Barbonera in the production booth, and you're here live watching Apex Racing TV.
It's the 3rd meeting of the championship at this legendary Belgian circuit. And going into this round, just 1 point splits the championship contenders, but with many rounds still to go. We've got 3 15-minute races involved tonight, and a couple of them have some reverse grids as well, so it's going to be very chaotic driving. Adam, this is a super easy circuit to slipstream round, even with the reverse grids. I think we're going to see the top guys manage to make their way up because, well, yeah, overtaking it should be fairly simple, I imagine.
Oh, it absolutely is. You've got a bunch of these long straightaways, especially after Eau Rouge, that you're going to be able to get quite a bit of slipstream. But I think the issue is going to be, especially in these cars, that you could start running into some trains as well. So, 2, 3 wide at the end of some of these straightaways, I don't think we're going to not see. So it could be very interesting for sure.
Very interesting indeed, and cold tires at the start of this race, they've been causing a little bit of trouble. At Red Bull Ring, we saw lap 1 get a little bit crazy. Race 2 in round 2, we saw the record for most cars crashed happen again. And I know a little bit of drivers been talking, and it's like we need to be taking these starts a lot better. So we might be seeing a little bit of hesitation from a few drivers, but I say a few because there's definitely a opportunity for more little bit of chaos.
Yeah, certainly. Tonight you're just seeing the championship standings, it is so early on in the season. We're only 2 meetings into this 9-meeting championship. It could very easily change. Really, no one's had an easy run so far. Pretty much everyone's had a bad result. Olsen had a really miserable Red Bull Ring, and yet he leads the championship. He also picks up a penalty, but he was so good at Hungarian, got 2 firsts and a second, that it takes a marginal championship lead. But Herbeno's in there. Marteau missed round 1, so that's why he's far down. They do get a drop score, and many of these drivers have had such a bad 1 of 2 meetings so far this season that they will probably be hoping to use that drop score on one of those rounds, as the first few times are coming in. Redford currently at the top, but only a few times being set so far.
Yeah, only a few times currently qualified. Got a crash actually at the final chicane. One car entered too much mustard off that exit. Might have got actually bumped right there. Went tail first into the wall, and look at that, top 3 within 1/10 of each other right there. Redford and Newman so close with each other. 10,000ths of a second separates them.
As we head up the Kemmel Straights right now, on board with Thiago Marteau, the car number 1, the 2-time defending champion. And he was on very strong form at Hungarian. Managed to I'm not sure if he took pole position or maybe front row of the grid, and was very close to the race win in race 1. Looking to do well here once again, and of course he's just trying to get a slipstream. You can see one of his Rust Racing teammates just sitting behind him right there. Currently 4 minutes into this, or 4 minutes to go in this qualifying session. Something that the Jazz have got to contend with here, Adam, is the off tracks. It is not easy to get a clean lap here at Spa, and with such a long lap, you're not going to get many attempts. So doing what we're currently seeing from Nicholas Rasmussen is probably not the wisest thing to do.
No, you absolutely said it. Actually, that corner complex right through there, I've run the Dallara IR01 through here, right there actually. And if you get anywhere in that green, you're probably going to start getting an off track. This is probably one of the more difficult sections. Pouan as well is going to be pretty tough to keep it on the road, especially I think in these cars. But you know, it's not just one person that's going to be struggling with that. It's going to be everybody. So yeah, track's fun, but they've got to know to try to maybe slow down a little more than they think they have to and get a good clean lap, and that's probably gonna get them to the top.
Yeah, clean laps, taking it easy are definitely going to be the keys for a fast time around here. A lot of the top F3 drivers in the world on iRacing basically say you got to treat this car very nicely, treat it with respect, and it will get faster throughout the session. And you just got to get into that groove. You can't really force this car to do what you want, or else you're going to end off in the grass, end up with dead tires, or end up spun around, wrapped around a tree. And, well, you got to take her nice, and that's what the top 10 of this top 10 right now is pretty much doing right here. But the top 3 are completely at a different level. Giacchino, Herbeno, and Redford right now 2/10 clear of Zwemstra in 4th place.
So Sam, sorry Sam. So what do you think the the slipstream advantage is around here? Because with the open qualifying, do you think that'll help, or do you think it'll hurt around a track like this?
Well, I'm surprised that we're not seeing more trains right now, particularly between the teammates, because easily get you a couple of tenths, but maybe just with the limited time, them just focusing on getting those clean laps in that we were talking about before, rather than going necessarily for those extra couple of tenths. But I would have thought if you could really nail it, if you are following behind a teammate who's maybe even pace to, probably 2 or 3 tenths that you could gain. But yeah, so far not seeing a whole lot of it. A few drivers won't do qualifying in this session, and a few quick drivers won't do qualifying in this session. We have got Munoz, who qualified very well at Hungarian, but had to start from the pits anyway. I think he actually qualified P3, so he's very quick as Munoz. Sandstrom, Bartolotta, Michael Blaze, Belmont, and crucially championship leader Tobias Olsen are all barred from qualifying. Also Jordan Kelly is barred from qualifying. So if you see Olsen not up there and think, where is the championship leader? Well, he is starting all the way at the back, and that will be about 35th position. for race 1. He needs to desperately try to get up in that top 6, which is the reverse grid for race 2, and then top 10 for race 3 as Nicholas Rasmussen goes to the top, but there's still a number of quick drivers still to complete their final lap.
And there's a lot of different strategies here in qualifying, yet some drivers are doing that slipstream thing, but most of the drivers are running around with a lower downforce wing, like Kutiaga Marteau comes across the line, provisional pole right there, 210, 264. But yeah, he was running a lower wing, as you can see the 223 with that higher downforce wing right there, a lot faster in the second and third, the second sector. You can slow the car down, it's a lot more stable, but it's not as fast on the straights as Leclerc is showing on that higher downforce wing. And we're going to be seeing drivers play with that strategy during the race. Some might go, hello, buddy. That is a loosey goose right there. He caught it. That will count as a lap, I believe, if they did not set a lap. As Andy Moore jumps up right there to 19th. Schnabel comes across into 13th right there. But we might start seeing drivers in this race line up with a low downforce wing. And it might give them a better chance to make some moves at the start of this race down the straight. But first, it is our starting grid. Kutiaga Marteau starts up on pole position with Nicholas Rasmussen starting right beside him, followed by Roald Redford, Max Giacchino, Christopher Herbino, Sven Newman, Justin Negrete, Kevin Swimstra, Kasper Stutka, Nathan Nicholson, Chris Rosenkranz, and Edwin Riviera. Right behind him, Leonard Schnabel, Georgie Zuyan, Aaron Smith, Jack Reeve, Kostaf Malashev, Jacob Fillmore, Andy Moore, Marcel Leclerc, Christian Glamsetter, Brian Vors, Florian Beer, and Russell Fowler. And 24th, they're followed by Carl Winkler, Vince Harley, Jay Walsh, Mickey Blaze, Tobias Olsen in 29th. As we're getting to see all the cars near the back of the grid, Jaden Munoz, Max Bartolota, Jesper Sandstrom, Christian Engelhardt, Brett Accord, Brian Hoffman, and Alex Roggenbuck at the end of our 36 car grid here at Spa. It's time to line them up, getting ready to go and race them into La Source and up El Rouge Radion. And oh boy, hi, are you excited, Alex? Adam?
I am. This many cars on this track is about to be something special on the first lap.
I'm excited. I'm bouncing in my seat so much so something fell off in the distance. Well, everyone's all lined up. We're just waiting for a few more cars to line up. Sam, we do have drivers with pit lane penalties, right?
Yes, so really Olsen and Down will be starting from the pits for this race.
Engelhardt,
so we've only got 28 lining up.
All right, 28 lining up. We got 4 cars starting for the pit lane. It's time to get ready to rumble here at Spa as the Apex Racing Academy Formula 3 Super Series is underway as they race onto the source. And there's a massive crash by a stalled car immediately in the background. 3 cars around. We got a car crashing in La Source. It's almost just like what happened in 2013 at the F1 Grand Prix. We got chaos already. It's 3 wide in the background right now. 1, 2, 3. Martin Redford and Ramses clear right there, heading into El Rouge and Radion. As we ride on board of Sven Newman right behind Herbert. Oh, no. Goes around and goes Newman. Oh. And that is Stutka in the air, flipping end over end. Chaos at the top of Radion. 1, 2, 3. Martin Redford, Ramses clear fall to chaos. They're going to go 3 wide, almost looking at 3 wide right there. That is Redford looking around the outside of Marteau, heading into Brussels. They make contact. No, Marteau and Redford contact right there. Nicholas Rasmussen is off into the lead with Redford right behind. And they're followed by Herbert Swenstra and Negrete, your top 6. This is just a chaotic start right here at Spa.
Marco's got his work cut out for him going back to watch some of these replays, some of these incidents.
Winkler had an awful qualifying. I don't know what happened to Winkler, but he's more than made up for.
Oh my gosh, that's Aaron Smith!
And now Aaron Smith is up in the wall, collects a couple more cars as well. That's Mickey Blaze, who'd gain a lot of places, and hopefully Smith exits back to the pits. Olsen, I think, managed to get through all of that, but yeah, Marteau back in the pits. Newman, Negretti, Struka, Nicholson, Rivera, Smith, Rosencrantz, Ramsetta, and Blaze. All having to go back to the pits right there. And yeah, after all of that, Rasmussen up 1 place, he's in the lead.
Yeah, we got 10 cars towing into the pit lane. This is going to be the replay. This is what happens. This is Max Giacchino at the start gets hooked and then gets turned around, got into the grass right there, and he didn't hold the brakes, and then he shot across the track right there. That looked just like what it did in 2013 F1 race. This is Newman getting hooked, just a tap in the back right corner, and Stuka just gets absolutely launched right there into the wall. Thankfully, it didn't come back onto the track, or else we're going to have a IMSA GT3 incident that's really popular on Twitch. As this is Georgie. A little bit of gets a tap from Kevin right here.
And that gave me some Abu Dhabi vibes for the F1 race last weekend. Just looks like a stall on the
Saudi
start
Arabia.
caused most of that. Yes, sorry, Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, the F2 start at Saudi Arabia, absolute chaotic start. Hopefully Enzo is doing a lot better. We want to see him get back into the car soon. Theo Porcher, though, doing pretty well. Yeah, glad to see somebody there. But, okay, cars that have visited the pit lane that were not penalized. Leclerc, Malchev, Filbert, Giacchino, Bartolotta. We were making bets on if we would break the lap 1-2. Oh, that is tight right there. Beautiful driving by Georgie right there. Going a little bit wide out there, but Swepster holding that inside line. And Swepster's got a great run heading into Pouan side by side. Here they go into Pouan 2. Low downforce configurations right here. They're going to have to really be careful and committed right here. Swepster able to hold that bottom line and cut ahead as they head into Village. But Swepster up into 4th. We have about 24 cars involved in a lap 1 incident. No, 14 cars. 14 cars, not 24.
And in all of that, Redford was able to take the lead past Rasmussen at the end of the Camel Street. I think we just about caught it, and Rasmussen actually dropping back. So I think it may have been him who made contact with Marteau, and I wonder maybe if that's losing him a bit of time because Herbino is now right on his tail. Trying to maybe do some vengeance for his...
Oh, no, Redford locked it up!
Again from the lead. He's done it already at Red Bull Ring, and he did manage to take the race win at Hungaroring eventually. However, that is a costly mistake. It loses him the lead. He's only 1.6 seconds off the lead. He can certainly still bring this one back, but that's another mistake there from Will Redford.
There's going to be traffic on this lap as well. Our race leaders are going to start hitting cars that have towed and come out of the pit lane. Here's a replay of that start incident with Marteau and Redford. Redford looking for that outside line, and Marteau had that inside line. Then on the switchback, Redford got pushed up onto the curb. Marteau was really squeezing him right there, and really just gets tapped and unfortunately gets shot off into the wall. And he's back on track right now. Marteau down in 27th place as we see behind Redford. This is the Redford incident, locked at the brakes. Rear end right there, needs to move that brake bias forward. And big crash, and here is our top 3 lapping one of the cars right there. But Rasmussen, Herbino, and Redford 1, 2, and 3 here, all within a second. And hey, we're still only 5 minutes into this race.
Oh yeah, plenty of time to go, and let me tell you, there's not been a second that hasn't been exciting around here. So great racing for some, or great race for some, not so great for others. But all in all, if you're watching this race, I would be extremely excited. No idea who's winning half the time, but it looks like it's starting to calm down. Got Rasmussen up there, trying to pull a little bit of a gap on Herbino. So hopefully he can keep it going.
Let's see Rasmussen with this pace, always near the front. That sometimes falls a little bit short as Moore is dropping down.
Oh,
As he hit the wall there. or has he been able to escape Olsen up to 11th place? He could get reverse good pole, maybe could Olsen. Probably not on pace. We'll need to rely on someone from the top 6 having a problem. But he certainly brought himself into play. Schnabel currently top of the amateurs. Schnabel's in his first ever Apex Racing League series. But and has shown very good pace on the most part, but not necessarily delivering on the race results. Like an opposite way tonight. It wasn't a fantastic qualifying for him, but doing except well, it wasn't pre-qualifying for him, but he is doing very well currently in the race, as we see Urbano with a very strong draft, and this should be fairly simple for him. Overwhelming speed down the street. Got similar downforce levels, it seems. You can see the rear wing fairly similar between the two of them. Swemstra with a much wider rear wing in the background. That might be a beer actually as a back marker as Urbano takes the lead for the first time.
Yeah, the low downforce like a rocket ship through El Rouge Radion and down that straightaway, and easy to overtake right there. Now, these cars don't produce a lot of dirty air compared to the high downforce stuff, so they can follow each other pretty well compared to the high downforce stuff, even though I'm pretty sure all these drivers experimented with the W12 in the past week when that was released, and you know, the dirty air is real in that car, so I'm pretty sure a lot of these guys are a lot more comfortable following other cars now if they experience that W12 dirty air, but it's nothing like you. These F3 dirty air is nothing like you see in that W12, so a lot more following is going to be happening right now as Rasmussen falling away from Urbano. Urbano able to lock together those corners and Village and start to pull away. He's pulled out a 6/10 gap right there. He's actually got a car ahead of him that he's drafting off of right now. So this run up into Blanchimont, that's one of the Christmas trees. Here comes Redford down to the inside, heading into Blanchimont. 3 wide for a little bit of a moment before the turn. Redford getting a little bit spicy right there. Redford, though, getting up into second place, and now he's got a great move heading into Urbano. Urbano better watch his mirrors for Will Redford. Redford, though, up into second as they head through the chicane, but Redford looking for that race lead here on lap 5.
And that overspeed was absolutely insane from Redford. The fact that he could move past Rasmussen and nearly get past Urbano as well. But very much going to be a Daytona type situation, I think, where you almost don't want to be leading going on to the last lap. You probably want to be behind, but going on to kind of straight that leads up to Blanchimont. And then
watch out for Rasmussen
that
right
part
here
of the track. Also up to 10th place, by the way. And yeah, I think you're right that Rasmussen might be in the best position, but I know maybe he doesn't have quite the same straight line speed. It's quite tricky to tell now.
You want to stop talking right now. Are you looking at the screen right here? Look at the closing speed by Rasmussen. He actually had to lift off right there, but Redford able to swing it around the outside of Urbano. But Rasmussen, ooh, he might be waiting for that final lap to really surprise these two.
Man, where did Redford come from?
P3.
Wow. That was impressive.
Yeah, but Redford, like, the past 2 laps, he really mastered that draft and able to get up into the lead. And last lap, fastest lap of the race, Will Redford, Christopher Urbano in second, and Nicholas Rasmussen, the only driver in the top 10 to lose a spot.
Yeah, I think a lot of these guys further down, you know, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th place are probably counting their blessings after avoiding much of the carnage lap 1 into lap 2. So
okay, I need to make a correction. Not only the only driver in the top 10, the only driver in the top 20 to lose a spot.
Wow.
Nicholas Rasmussen down 1 position. Everyone else +2, +3, +4, +9, +16 for Florian Beer. Carl Winkler +20. Munoz is in the top 10, +20. Olsen +18, +21 for Engelhardt and Accor. Rogenbach is +22, and Rogenbach started on the grid. Just chaotic, and you can see the drivers that were affected in that wreck are most of the down arrows right there. But wow, this is a chaotic start, and you know, reverse grid is just going to be affecting the top 6 right here. So, you know, we're going to have a lot of the faster guys at the back of the grid, and I feel like we're in for a massive show, race number 2, of a lot of the faster guys swarming some of the cars that were in a massive that were in a massive crash, and this is going to be very interesting to watch. This here is Olsen and Jaden Munoz nose to tail with each other, and just trying to catch up. Olsen actually looking for that overtake right there. He's in the draft. He could definitely get it right here in the straight. Pulls off to the left. And he's actually got help from the 205. Jack Reeve is on a higher downforce level. Olsen almost getting pushed off the track right there. No space left for him by Munoz. Also going to try to hold it around the outside. Switch back onto the inside now. And Olsen able to make that move stick now. Next car, Jack Reeve, P9. And Reeve, though, he has that advantage of a higher downforce setup. He's going to be giving a lot of dirty air to Olsen and Munoz behind him. And will be a lot faster in this section of the track.
Yeah, should be able to pull away, needs to pull away in order to be safe for the next flat out section. We're currently second place out of the amateurs. Engelhardt doing an excellent job in third place out of the amateurs. Might be asking a lot of Marco, but I was wondering if we could get that start line crash maybe up for us, maybe a little bit at some point. May have to do a lot of digging because I'm sure there's been plenty of crash, but I think maybe Rivera may have been involved in it. Unfortunately, I can't see this one, but hopefully one of you two can.
Nope.
Excellent. Well, hopefully we are seeing the start.
This is I believe this is a stalled car crash. Will Redford was involved in. No, Will Redford was not involved in that. Russ Fowler was involved in that. White flag in the air, last lap. Redford, Herbert, and Rasmus actually fallen away from this, but white flag, last lap action here at Spa for race number 1 of 3 here for the Apex Racing Academy Formula 3 Series. Redford leading out Herberto. Herberto lined up right there. We're riding on board of Redford, looking back at Herberto as they go through El Rouge and Roundion. Down onto the straight, Redford all the way over to the right-hand side. Here comes Herberto. Herberto like a rocket ship, side by side, across him. Side by side, and they're still going to be side by side heading into Brussels. That lap car getting all the way out of there, using the escaper right there. Redford, though, able to hold that inside line and holding it off for the lead there, coming off into Brussels. What a move in defensive line by Will Redford. Defending on the right, then going all the way over to the left to squeeze Herberto, and to just having the worst entry possible. Will Redford able to make that work right there as they head through No Name right there. Herberto still in that draft, racing now to Pouan. He knows that he can get a great run through Blanchimont. We saw him do that. Will Redford do a run through Blanchimont as well? He just was really close through Village right now. And then you have Kervin Paul Ferrer, and that's when you go. It's right, left, right once more. Redford, Herberto, nose to tail. Rasmussen starting to close in just a little bit. He could try to pick up the pieces and get a surprise second, maybe a first if something happens in there, but he's too far away to challenge for it right now. Herberto, 4/10 back. He's in the draft. This is the last opportunity. One shot, one opportunity. You can either go home or go hard or go home right now. It's race number 1 out of 3. Are you going to put all the eggs in one basket? Here he comes. He's in the draft, but it's just too far away. 5/10 back. He's going to have to really send it to get in there. It's not going to be enough. Will Redford, 142, takes race number 1 of 3 here at Spa.
And all that despite a spin when he was out in the lead, pulling away, but he just had overwhelming pace. As we see a back marker go across the track, Schnabel is going to get the amateur race win, and if this is his first win, it's a long time coming because he's had excellent pace this season. He managed to get through the mess at the start, and that is a very strong points haul for him, just what he needed for his championship charge. And he will also get reverse grid pole as Bartolozza. He starts it from the back. He has just got past Ross Fowler, who managed to somehow get through all of that stuff on lap 1. He did have to take a pit stop, and he makes contact with Hotham, and then Hotham gets in the way of Fowler, and that's a very disappointing end to the race for the American.
Yeah, Brian Hothman saw him coming in, but you know, he was in the chicane, wasn't expecting that to happen, and rear end gets spun around and losing 2 positions at the end of the race, I can guarantee you that's probably going to be a protest right there. Max came in there like a wrecking ball, and not pretty. Thiago Marteau. Speaking of not pretty, not a pretty race for our #1 driver, the Delta Sport machine. Oh man, if there is a drop round to write up all drop rounds, this would be that drop round. Though he did miss round 1.
Well,
so
yeah, that will be his
this
job
will
now.
count, unfortunately. So Marteau is going to be really pressured to make up a lot of space right here. But race 1 is finished, and race 2 about to be underway.
Yeah, quite a short turnover. Just waiting for Sandstrom. Will be the last driver to cross the line, and then it's a very quick process. Just 1 minute the drivers have to line up back onto the grid. And of course, it will be the top 6 inverted, but everyone else will be in the same position. So those drivers who had a bad race 1, Gacchino, Newman, Martel and Co, all suffering from that bad result into this race 2 as well. They just need to try to get into the top 10 reverse, which will be coming up later on.
Yeah, Leonard Schnabel be starting up on pole, followed by Zuen, right beside him, Swemstra, Rasmussen, Herberto, and Redford. Your top 6, as everybody else is in their finishing position. Florian Beer, Olsen, Winkler, and Munoz. Jack Reeve and Engelhart will be your 2nd and 3rd amateur starters behind them. With Accord, Roggenbuck, Vorse, Moore, Bartolotta in 17th, Hoffman, Harley, Malashev, Leclerc, Fillmore, Giacchino, Marteau down in 23rd and 24th, Fowler, Newman, Smith, Negrete, Sandstrom, Walsh, Rosencrantz, Glam Center, Blaze, Riviera, Nicholson, Stuka at the back of our 36-car grid. And we just escaped there with just 8 seconds to go. It's time. Race 1. We got a little bit off on the wrong foot here. Let's see how race 2 goes. It's time to get ready, to get wild. Race number 2 at Spa for the Apex Racing Formula 3 Super Series is underway. As we go green, green, green. Great start by Schnabel. Now he's got that higher down for start. A lot of craziness happening. They're 4 wide in the background. Side by side, immediately heading into La Source right now. Zuen and Schnabel going side by side. We got a cars backwards. There's chaos in turn 1 once more, but Schnabel and Zuen side by side heading to El Rouge Radion down to the inside, the lower downforce car of Zuen. The Canadian immediately getting the lead right now, leading everyone onto the straightaway. Much cleaner right now, but here comes Swemstrom. Swemstrom dripping out the draft of the 288 of Schnabel. Swemstrom, that lower downforce car, easily going to make room for that. They're 3 wide down the straightaway, heading into Brussels. They're almost going 4 wide. That's Herberto already in third, but Herberto gets into the back of Swemstrom. There's contact right there at the end of the straightaway, and he's getting back onto the track right now. There's going to be a little bit of carnage, and that's Swemstrom. Vorse is in the wall. Brian Vorse, another Delta Sport driver, is in the wall. Zuian is in the lead. Schnabel still in 2nd place, followed by Redford and Herberto, Olsen, Winkler, Rasmussen, Beer, Bartolotta, and Jack Reeve in 10th place. Your top 10 right now. A lot cleaner. Everyone getting a little bit off track right there, which is tradition pretty much in no-name corner as they all race it into Pouan.
Lead pack all staying much closer, much less field spread this time around as Marteau up 14 places already. Also Newman up 10 places, Smith up 10 places, Struka up 16 places. Excellent work from him. And Marteau will still have hopes that maybe even the race win is only 3.5 seconds off the lead. He can certainly make that up. Can the 2-time defending champions. We see Harley trying to pull off some overtakes. Marteau still trying to do this one on Reeve. And even if he does get past on this occasion, he'll be very susceptible to the slipstream coming up. And you also got Villamore in his first ever Apex Racing League event, just lining up behind the 2 of them. But we kind of got this lead pack of 5 at the moment, but expect Winkler, Beer and Bartolotta all to catch up.
We got Redford swinging around the outside of Schnabel right there for 2nd place. And Schnabel, with that higher downforce car, he's really in that package, able to follow them really well. As Florian Beer and Bartolotta having a little bit of a side-by-side moment. Bartolotta defending onto the inside of Beer, heading into La Source right there. We did have a little bit of an incident heading into La Source. That lap, Max Giacchino again involved in an incident. Stuka involved in an incident. Munoz involved in there. Vor, Sandstrom, Rosekrantz, as cars heading into pits. Engelhart, Roggenbuck, and Glemsetter involved in that. 9 cars only involved in a start incident as Redford down to the inside. Very easy pass right there. Not really defended by Georgie in second place. As, you know, they're just not really fighting amongst themselves right now. Just letting everybody else fight amongst themselves and try to pull out that gap right there. And try to make it impossible. Then they're going to start really fighting with each other. Speaking of fighting with each other, they are completely doing the opposite of what I'm saying right now. As Herbino and Georgie going side by side. Herbino going all the way
Here we go
to the
again.
Netherlands around the outside right there to make that move count.
Man, these guys are brave going through Puan this close. Side by side is impressive to watch.
Side by side is absolutely impressive, and you know, Schnabel, that higher downforce could be a real hassle for the cars behind him, but you know, he's not really being that much of a robot. He's got a lot of pace right now, and he's able to stay with him. Now, if I was Schnabel, as Olsen goes, he kicks up a lot of grapple right there. Herbino able to pull away from everyone behind him. Schnabel going onto the inside, and look at that. Schnabel's getting pushed off the track right there, getting all the way to the curbing. He had a run on Georgie right there, and, you know, Georgie is giving him the elbows right there. It's like, get out of my way, 200. I'm not letting you pass me. And, you know, they're squabbling all over for third place. You see Schnabel defending onto the inside. Here comes Olsen around to the outside into the chicane, and I think Schnabel did the smart thing, get out of the way of very aggressive. And we got a spin in the chicane. That is Aaron Smith around.
Oh, don't come back on the
say
track.
that right there. Very sharp re-entry, but everything is going good. Georgie and Olsen side by side. Olsen down to the inside of the source, able to make that move. They're going to be side by side, just a little bit side by side. Olsen able to clear him right there. Watch out for Georgie off this exit, though. Here comes Georgie. He's very fast. He's got to time this exit. He actually goes very down to the inside, loses control of the car. He has to live to keep the car back. Now he's back into the draft right now, and he's going to be side by side with Olsen. Olsen defending all the way down to the inside. They're going to be side by side, heading into the braking zone right now. It's going to be very close, and Georgie's really squeezing Olsen right there. They almost make contact on turn entry, but Olsen able to hold it off for P3 as they're starting to approach some lap traffic.
You know, there's something to be said about maybe pulling out a little too early going down that straight. You know, you got to maybe wait a little longer. Don't allow your opponent enough time to maybe get more of a defense set in mind and get more of a slipstream going down to the straight. I'm noticing that a lot, especially with these cars. Once they pull out, they just stall.
Yeah, it's a very good point. Yeah, you want to time it just right, build up a lot of momentum, and then when you do pull out, you've got that overspeed which you can use to move past. Poor first sector for Redford on this lap. He lost 0.4 of a second. Now that might just be because Herbino got a draft from another car. Which you could say, obviously, that seemed particularly slow for Redford, so maybe a mistake until a source. He had kind of broken the draft to the Belgian at his home race, but not anymore. In that draft, I expect those two to stay close. Olsen, of course, will try to make up some time on those drivers up 5 places already from his start. To ride on board with Kaitiago Marteau for Delta Sport. As you can see, the drivers battling along. Schnabel's really dropping back. He's maybe a bit vulnerable down that straight, and Marteau is going to be trying to go with him. Schnabel realises this is not his fight, and if he plays this one smart, he might get another reverse grid pole at this point. He's still top of the amateurs, but Bartslowski and Marteau do make their way past.
Malashev and Vince Harley having a fight. Aaron Smith again having a spin in the chicane. It's been a disaster round for Aaron Smith. Second spin in a row. And, you know, he had that spin at a no-name corner as well in race 1. As Vince Harley, ooh, this is getting a little spicy. Harley's got his nose on the right-hand side. He's got a good run heading into El Rouge Radat. It's a lift by Konstantin Malashev right there. It was, oh, that was a big moment right there. Malashev thinking about the bigger picture, not the single moment. That could have been a big wreck right there. But Malchev, he's got a great run. This is what he was wanting. He's got a great run looking down to the inside. It does not go for the move, but Kotas Malchev looking for P14 and P3 in the AMS right now. Is currently sitting in 4th place in the AMS race, though all the points are scored overall, not just in class. So the higher you are up, the more points you will get, regardless of where you finish. You can have the entire top 10 of the AMS Championship finish in the top 10, and you can finish 5th in there, and you still score a lot of points than you would usually do if all the pros were there. And we actually saw that in the Apex Racing League Mazda series at Hockenheimring, which still goes down to today as one of the craziest Apex Racing League races I have ever seen.
Which one was that, sorry? What series?
ARA Mazda.
Aha, okay, I think I missed that one, but I mean, that's always craziness, that one, as Marteau goes into 5th position. Bartos has been able to get away, and Redford having to go defensive. Now, guys, it's not worth defending at this point. Can't work together, because Olsen will be with you, and Marteau's been setting fastest laps. They start battling now. This could be a 5-car battle by the end of this race. They need to figure out who's faster, which seems to be Redford, judging by race 1, and then just follow each other, and then 2 laps to go, they can battle. But so right now, it's not worth losing time.
I was going to say, Sam, what do you do in this situation? If you're Herbino, you want that first place, right? But you're still 5 minutes out. Working together, especially right about now, is going to be extremely tough to just have to hang back and not get into a battle, because you want that first place, and you obviously, the person behind always thinks they're the faster car. So there we go. I don't know what I do in that situation, but it looks like we just figured it out.
Yeah, Redford not defending from that as well, was also swung around the nose right there. I believe that's a lap car, but Redford all over that gearbox. You can reach out and touch him right there. He's just riding that gearbox and staying with Herbino. And I feel like they're going to be doing this swap draft type of deal very soon to continue pulling away from Tobias Olsen, who, Olsen had a great run. There was a lap car that was giving him a very good draft right there. And Olsen able to gain 2/10 on it, but I believe Olsen is out of that draft, the immediate draft of these two. We got 5 minutes remaining, 2 laps to go here at Spa, and Herbino and Redford, I feel like very soon, not this lap, but next lap, leading into oh, big crash! That's George. No, Georgie was doing so well. This gets turned right there. Who touched him? That's a 171 right there. That was Nicholas Rasmussen down to the inside.
Oh, no.
Rasmussen's on the inside, and George has got into his side right there. Konstantin Malchev, I think, had a little bit of an off-track, but looks everything is fine. Back to our fight for the lead. Herbino and Redford heading into chicane. No move by Redford right there. I think Redford's already showing his hand that he wants to be behind Herbino right now. 2 more tenths gained by Tobias Olsen. He's within almost 2 seconds now of Herbino. He's within 2 seconds to Olsen, as that's Nicholas Rasmussen heading into the pit lane. Probably got some damage from that shunt right there. Schnabel sitting in 6th place. He's got Beer behind him, and Sven Newman as well. They're followed by Slemstra and Jack Reeve. Jack Reeve currently sitting in that amateur 2nd place, and the reverse grid pole position for race number 3. So our leaders go side by side. Redford and Herbino. Redford let Herbino by last time, and I believe Herbino returned the favor right now. As now you're going to start getting a little bit of data. It's just like, I can get this much of a gain heading through here. This is how I'm going to set it up. If I can get a little bit more overspeed if I'm 5 tenths back compared to being 2 tenths back, and I'll be able to fly past and heading right here. We're 3 wide for a little bit. Nicholas Rasmussen out of the pit lane. That was really quick. His side by side is spicy moment right there. Rasmussen able to stay right there. Georgie's sitting in 14th, and that's Konstantin Malchev down to the inside. Looking at Georgie. It's Brussels and
My
they cut
goodness.
right there. Georgie goes off to the grass. He's tapped the wall. He's hit the wall again. And Georgie just can't believe he's actually locked to the brace. And I'm expecting that to be a toe. And yeah, there he goes out of the race now. But speaking of the race, this is the race that we're all looking at. Redford or Herberto. I'm excited.
On to go after this one. So Herberto's got to go for it. Now this is where they can fight. They've still got 2 seconds to Olsen, who has been making a couple of tenths of a second a lap on them, but really much more than that. Bartolot's has been had very good pace. Marteau not quite close enough, as Herberto knows there's no point in overtaking to the chicane. He'd either make it into Lake Coup, which is, I imagine is where he'll make it, or he could wait till the last chicane, but in
What are the odds that Redford plays a little game right here?
Backs him up.
Misses the corner completely. No, he's not going to do that right there. And, you know, we're going to go Gluceros 4 tenths back by Herberto. Herberto gets a better exit through Lacombe right now. Heading into El Rouge Radion. Herberto 3 tenths now. As we go up El Rouge Radion. 2 tenths now for Herberto. Herberto closing in like a rocket ship. White flag in the air. Last lap opportunity. 1 tenth now by Herberto. Herberto up into the gearbox right now. Herberto going on to the outside. It is a drag race heading into that corner at the end of the straight. Redford, Herberto, Redford onto the inside. Herberto now down to the inside. Redford holding around to the outside. Redford able to hold it off for the lead right there, but Redford getting a lot of overspeed, getting off the track. Here comes Herberto going all the way down to the inside, heading into the corner, and Redford riding that curve down to the inside, hooking the wheel. Redford losing the spot. Herberto getting the lead now as I head into no-name corners. We got a car off the track right there. Herberto holding off Redford. Redford trying to get a gain right now, but Redford, he still can hold this off and try to go for the win, heading into Pouon right now, looking for that Blanchimont move. He's got a great run through the exit of Pouon, heading into Village. Redford on.
Don't look now, but Olsen is coming.
Oh, Olsen is closing in like a mad lad on a mission right now. Heading into Village they go. 1.2 seconds for Olsen. Olsen using all the track right behind him into Curve Paul Ferrer as they go down, heading into Blanchimont. Redford 3 tenths back. Redford 2 tenths back now. Into Blanchimont they go. Will Redford can actually get this opportunity? He's being forced onto the outside. Don't try to go for the swim truck right now. Herberto, Redford, Herberto side by side. Heading into the bus stop chicane. White flag is out right now. Redford actually backing off just a little bit before the breakdown. And he fakes out Herberto misses the corner. Redford able to make the move and takes race number 2. What a move by Will Redford, forcing a mistake by Christopher Herberto and taking the 2nd race victory. That's 2 for 2 today by Will Redford.
I've seen a lot of good moves, but that may be top 10 material. That was unbelievable.
That was awesome.
Wow.
Schnabel manages to make it 2-2 as well. Another amateur race win for him. Again ahead of Reeve, who is going to win out on this battle. Oh, contact right at the end between the 3 of them. They're almost just waiting for one another, but Hotham's got huge damage, and he had problems at the end of the previous race. He's got
Look at that crap.
He can get it
Look
to
at that
the line,
crap.
but he gets overtaken by Engelhardt, Blaze, and Smith right at the finish. And these guys still got a good half lap to go. Again, I think we're going to be waiting for Sandstrom to be the last man across the line, because he is currently racing with Nicholson. But wow, yeah, what a performance from Redford. 3 wins now so far this season. He'll start 10th for race 3, but this has been some performance for him. He, of course, he's got that good straight line speed, no doubt about it, and it makes it look very easy, but you've got to carry so much speed through the corners. You've got to be so good through the corners to be able to carry that little downforce, and well, Redford has absolutely nailed it.
Sam, excuse my ignorance here, as I just came on here about an hour before it started. What is the championship points looking like coming into this race?
Well, at the moment, we've got Olsen at the top of the championship, ahead of Herberto. So Herberto will move ahead of him. Redford will be close, I imagine. Well, this is going to be close as well. Can Nicholson hold off? Looks pretty good for him at the moment. Yeah, Sandstrom isn't going to get him on the runs to the line. But yeah, if it ended, or right now, as we speak, I imagine Herberto probably in the championship lead. But yeah, Redford won't be far off. Still many more rounds to go, 6 more rounds of the championship to go after this round, as we will go for a 5-minute break, and in that time we will show you an advertisement for one of our sponsors here in this series on Apex Racing TV. We'll be back with you in just a moment.
And welcome back to the Apex Racing Academy VRS N3 Super Series, Race 1 and 2. Pretty exciting. And hey, we're not done yet. Race 3 is underway, but here's our Race 2 results. Top 10 will refer with a outstanding move on Christopher Herberto to end out that race. Takes the win. Tobias Olsen charges up into third, followed by Max Bartoletta. Thiago Marteau finishes in fifth, and we'll be starting in fifth for race number 3. They're followed by Florian Pierce, Sven Newman. Lennart Schnabel takes the amateur win, followed by Jack Reeve, and Kevin Swemstra comes out in 10th place. They'll be starting up on pole position for race number 3. They're followed by Carl Winkler, Nicholas Rasmussen, Vince Harley, Justin DeGritt, and Russ Fowler. Your top 15, followed by Kostas Malchev, Christian Engelhart, and Mickey Blaze in 18th, and I'll leave the rest to Adam.
All right, we got Aaron Smith starting off in 19th, Brian Hotham 20th, followed by Glamsetter, Roggenbuck, Accord, Giacchino, Forche, Nicholson, Sandstrom, and Zwain, rounding out 28th position. 29th is going to be Phillimore, followed by Rosencrantz, Moore, Walsh, Munoz, Marcel Leclerc, Stuka, and Rivera will round out your top 36.
Can I just say, Austin, that was incredibly harsh for someone in one of their first broadcasts for Apex Racing TV to give them the names. And no disrespect, Adam, so you're American as well, so it's particularly tricky for you.
Actually, he didn't butcher anyone.
And he did exceptionally well. So, I mean, it worked out well, but that could have been a horror show.
Lee,
you can't see me bowing right now.
Lee,
but I'll take
hire
it.
him immediately. That was the trial. The trial by fire.
Yeah.
Sam,
Well,
you obviously haven't done a Formula 3.5 cast with me and Marco, where that's the tradition. We give them the starting grid.
Well, I want to go back here to race 2 real quick. And again, shout out Redford. That was an unbelievable pass. I have not seen anything like that on iRacing. That would normally end up in a crash through the bus stop. So, man, Redford, huge shout out to you. That was, I'm not going to forget that one for a minute.
Yeah, he set up that move. He actually lifted off because he expected Herbo to really send it into there, and he called it. He just said, "Okay, I'm gonna break early." This is actually a karting move. Break early, let the other guy just really go in there. 9 times out of 10, they're flying past that corner, and that's exactly what happened. And you know, they still had to make the move around the outside, which was just beautiful. And I love moments in racing like that, and you know, you could tell it by my voice that I was losing my mind. But gosh, I love racing.
Unbelievable, unbelievable.
And no blue names, as this is the final race of the day. The blue names indicated the cars that were in reverse grid. The cars that will be affected by the reverse grid. So Zwemstra, Kevin Zwemstra, 188. He's starting up on pole position. Then he's followed by 2 amateurs. Jack Reeve in 2nd place and Schnabel in 3rd. Sven Newman, Florian Beer, Marteau, Bartolota, Olsen, Herberto, and Redford, the cars that were reversed. And it's time. One final time here today. Put 15 minutes back up on the clock as we are underway for the Apex Racing Academy Formula 3 VRS Super Series. The final race is underway heading into Lacombe. 3 wide immediately. What a start by Sven Newman. As there's 3 wide, 3 rows deep. And oh, that's a car going all the way into the pit lane. That's Christopher Herberto. Off to the pit lane. Oh, the front right is gone.
No. Should be that.
And Zwemstra, what a start by Zwemstra, pulling off already 1.3 seconds as Schnabel and Reed, I believe they are teammates. I'm not going to call that actually. It looks like they're teammates right there as everyone trying to jostle position. We're 4 wide behind the 2 as they're 4 wide heading into this corner. There is no room for everybody. There's a tap right there, Zwemstra. Oh my God,
wow.
Zwemstra is cheering right there, but Bartolota was the one trying to squeeze through that, and that was Blaze right there. There's carnage already coming out of the corner again, but trying to make it 4 wide, trying to squeeze all the room out of there. And, you know, it's just a little bit of a tap, and oh no, car spinning out right there.
Marteau.
That's Thiago Marteau having an incident. The championship leaders. I don't think any of them wants to win this champion. Oh, no. I don't think any of the championship hopefuls will want to win this championship, judging by this race 3. Next thing you know, Tobias Olsen going to smash cut to him. He's flipping over and into the fence. I'm not tempting fate or anything, but I will not be surprised if that actually happens.
Oh man, this is again. This is like race 1. They're just. It looked like they were racing for the last lap with about a minute into the race. So, man, that was. Oh my goodness, I feel so bad for the 2 championship leaders getting caught up in some of those incidents. But you know, it's like everyone, or like you guys said earlier, it's a long season. So keep your head down and keep pushing.
Absolutely, anything and everything and anything can happen here in Apex Racing Academy. Well, except for Timo Clock hopping onto the track, causing a red flag, and everybody starts driving backwards. Carnage! In the chicane right there. And that's Max Giacchino, and that's a very unsafe release. Another car spun around and Nicholson.
I'm not sure if it was his fault the first time.
How is Herberto still driving that car?
Yeah, Herberto's not giving up, is he? He's I remember Schumacher, of course, when he lost one of his tyres, managed to do half of that in 1998, of course. But yeah,
looks like Herberto's about to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, he's carrying his tyre along, so maybe just helping out his mechanics like that. Knowing that he can just bolt it back on. That's how wheels work. Reeve, who did have a problem, is coming back now. He's up into 9th position, trying to get back past Engelhardt. Schnabel's looking very good for a hat-trick of amateur class wins here, which would be absolutely mighty from him and would surely propel him into the amateur class championship lead. Struker's had another problem. He's had a very chaotic day. He crashed at the chicane on that previous lap as Newman and Olsen just pushing the track limit a bit. But remarkably, out of all that, only 4 drivers going back to the pits, and I will just also add that 4-wide move into Lecune, possibly the dumbest overtake we've seen all season long. And
Yes, Sam.
Racing TV. I mean, impressive stuff.
Well, here is, quote, in Sam's mind, the dumbest overtake opportunity. You can see Max really going for that, and there is no room to really make that move. He actually gets it, but it's just so very hard to get to really make that move right there. You know, you don't got boosts in these cars. Everybody has to be on the same page. You're going 4 wide into that corner, and, you know, your iRacing spotter can just tell you, oh, stay right, stay left, hold your line. He's still there. Just not how close is he. You're going to have to be super observant to make all that work. And there was room on the inside, too, so they could have made that work, but, you know, the cars on the inside were prepping for a corner. And that was a unfortunate incident. Just a little bit of a tap, but oh my gosh.
The only thing I'm gonna say about that is, you know, the guys on the outside have no idea what's going on with the guys on the inside, and you probably don't even really know they're down there, to be honest. So everyone's trying to go into a right-hand corner, and I don't.
Going around is Munoz and Georgie. And Lacombe, Georgie backing it up right there, making sure everybody could get past, being a very smart and safe driver right there, and not causing absolute chaos. What is happening to Georgie right here? A little bit indecisive, heading into the brake zone, and does he just miss it? Oh, he was avoiding. That was a big dive behind him. He avoided it, and I've gone to the back.
Man, poor Georgie. 2nd race in a row. Unfortunate for him.
Sam, did you wake up and choose violence today?
Well, I mean, it seems like a few of these drivers have so far as Engelhardt trying to come back against Reeve, and Reeve keeps the 9th position. Engelhardt, I imagine, will start to score back. He hasn't quite had the same pace as the Brit so far tonight, as Marte, as has been the case the whole race. He's just been trying to come back constantly to just set the fastest lap of the race. Ever so quick, Marte, but he just hasn't been able to do anything with it. At least he has finished, you know, all the races. But he'll need a good second half to the season, or second third of the season at least. Top 3 very close. They're all catching up to Webster, and this is all going to come to a climax quite soon. Still Rasmussen and Redford not too far back. This could be a 5-car battle by the end of the race.
Yeah, Olsen's been. I've been watching him. He's been quietly moving up. Just overtook Newman on that last lap, and he's quick. The gap is shrinking mightily every lap, probably about 2 to 3 tenths. So I would expect Olsen to be up on Zwimstra at the end of this next lap.
Christian Engelhardt getting a good run on Jack Reeve, and oh no, that is too much of a run down into the back of Reeve, and Reeve goes around. Sam, you're going to be a very busy person this week.
You got anything to say about this one, Sam?
Oh, well, we'll see what the stewards think, but
Sam.
We'll see.
Sorry, I'm just trying to put a little bit of fuel on the fire there, my bad.
Well, no, I mean, bring it on. We've only got 7 minutes to go. We can deal with this amount of flammability. Olsen passed into the lead, and that might be the clinical move of this race 3, because he seems a lot faster than Wemstra, and Newman doesn't seem to be much of a rival for him either. Beer, I think, just holding off Schnabel there. I think those two have been locked together for most of race 2 and race 3. And Smith now is up into 9th place. So Aaron Smith, who's really been struggling, had 2 spins at the chicane in race 2, but he is up 10 places in race 3. He's up into 9th.
I mean, look at this gap that Olsen has already pulled on Zwimstra. Just got past him 3 corners ago. He's already 0.6 of a second ahead. He's moving. I think he's a man on a mission this time.
Definitely a man on the mission right there. Look at Aaron Smith under pressure. Here comes Engelhart. Engelhart down onto the outside. Opportunity swinging around the outside out for Puon into Village. You know, it's a right, left. This is down the inside line for Engelhart, but Smith held that outside line. And there's Thiago Marteau out of nowhere into 10th place. Where did he come from?
Oh my goodness gracious. Where did he come from?
I don't know.
Wow.
And I'm trying not to make a RKO reference, but that is seriously out of nowhere. And he swings around the outside right there. Marteau up into 9th place.
Speaking
And
of a man on a mission, my goodness, he is moving.
yeah, Chris Rosegrat's also moving as well around the outside move, heading into Blanchard. That's a little bit too much mustard on the brakes right there. That's a big set. Oh, no. Oh, no. And the person who got the most out of that, I think, was Sandstrom, just taking the wide line as both those drivers have that incident. Running on board with Zemstra right now, looking at the back as Sven Newman. Olsen is back ahead, and we got even more chaos, I think, at Lacombe. As here comes Newman around to the outside for 2nd place, but Zwemstra has that lower downforce car, and Newman is just stalled out there because he has that higher downforce car. He can't catch up. He can't make the pass on Zwemstra. Newman's going to have to really force the issue right here. Also, Nicholas Rasmussen is back there as well. He can go for that move and try to chase down Tobias Olsen, as here's the chaos in the back, and then there's also chaos in the front, as this is Christian Engelhart. And he's just tapped him. And it's right on the apex too. And this is where chaos happens. And you see these cars, it's like trying to dive onto the outside, but you got a car on the inside, car on the outside, and they have to go straight through the middle, and they're stuck in the middle with you right there. Sven Newman trying to hold it down to the inside right there, but Zwemstra still able to hold it off. Actually, no, Zwemstra, yeah, he is holding it off. That lower downforce, such a key right there to stay ahead in the straights. Newman really forced the issue, but he's a boat right now. And Rasmussen chasing him down, looking for the outside. No room available out there. Heading into Blanchimont. Here comes Newman. Newman's got a great opportunity. Rasmussen looking onto the outside. Good switchback opportunity available on the inside. Not going there. Overcooking the braking zone is Zwemstra. And here comes Newman. Newman getting a great launch off the exit. Zwemstra defending onto the inside. Nicholas Rasmussen in the draft of Newman. It's going to be a very slippy heading into Lacombe. Newman and Zwemstra. Zwemstra very well defending on that inside line. Still going to be ahead of Newman. We saw Newman get out of the draft very early on. He actually stalled out that lower downforce. There's a high downforce machine really showing itself on the straights right now, heading into El Rouge and Radion. As here comes Newman all up in that draft and almost making contact right there was Rasmussen. Rasmussen forced to go on the outside. He avoid all that draft right there. And here comes Rasmussen, and Rasmussen actually taking the lead right there. And double overtake. 1-2. Call your mama about that one. That is one to be proud of right there. And you know, they're two teammates working well together. And Sven Newman is probably just like, come on, I can't get a single move. Well, Newman is going to have to get, you really have to get going, because look at that. The two-time winner here today, Will Redford, is slowly closing in.
Oh my goodness. Hey, I want a real quick shout out to Jaden Munoz. He's gained, judging by the timing, 22 positions here since the start of the race. So congratulations to him, coming out of nowhere, avoiding all the carnage and getting up there.
Through Puon, able to get a good run. Newman around the outside, finally gets past Zwemstra. But while he's doing that, Rasmussen able to start pulling away right there. But Sven Newman, well, that's one problem done, but he's still got a lot more to go, and it's only one lap to go next time by. But yeah, Munoz, great recovery drive. The real race on track is the race for second place. Well, now the race for third, heading into Blanchimont, the lower downforce cars, swinging it down to the inside. Redford and Zwemstra sneak past them, and now here comes Will Redford, weathered, looking for that outside move, heading into the bus stop chicane. He's going to sneak it around the outside on the entry. This is swinging it onto the inside right there. Breaks it a little bit on the apex right there. Will Redford up into third. White flag in the air. One last lap. Can Redford get another podium and sweep the podium here today? 2 wins, maybe a third, but he's definitely going for that second place run as they head through Lacombe. One of the Crips racing machines coming out of the pit lane, avoiding all this, because if you get in the middle of this fight, fireworks going to happen, and people are going to want to be meeting you after this race. We also got fight behind him as well. Florian Beer and Lennart Schnabel. Schnabel looking for an amateur win as Swemstra and Redford. Swemstra around the outside. Redford's got that inside line. He's still got a nose down in there, but it's gone now. Swemstra able to hold off Redford. Redford really sending it into that corner. Gets the apex of the turn 1, but turn 2 goes to Swemstra. Swemstra sitting in third. Redford down into fourth as Sven Newman really had a good look right there. He almost got Redford right there. Carl Winkler holding off Florian Beer and Schnabel right behind him, and Marteau. He's going to look for some more place as he is closing in on this pack as well. Rasmussen is gone. This is the fight for third. Swemstra, Redford, Newman heading into P1 right now. This is where Sven Newman is the strongest right now with that medium downforce setup. He's got a lot more grip right now. Here comes Newman down to the inside. Is selling a fake though. Nobody bought that one. If right there, nobody's buying Sven's cookies right now. But he did have a good looking opportunity. Swemstra leading him in to Corbin Paul Freire as they head down that little short shoot, and now it's a run up into Blanchimont. Will Redford, are we going to be seeing Redford magic once more? Sven Newman, he's got that higher downforce. He can break later than these 2 cars. Here comes Redford early into Blanchimont, side by side through there. Here comes Sven Newman. They're going to go too wide right there. Newman's going to try to force the issue. Newman gets into Redford, and he pushes him out of the way. And Sven Newman and Swemstra are going to finish side by side. Tobias Olsen finishes with the win, and oh no, Karma.
2 places right at the end, and I think Schnabel's going to go with him as well. Beer and Winkler, I think, collided, and Martel and Schnabel able to get through, but that is really disappointing for that collision. Newman and Swemstra coming together. It seemed like a simple hits into the back.
Yeah, Sven Newman had an amazing run. He was trying to look for that outside line. He was boxed in right there, and Redford went early on the brakes, and Sven Newman got into the back of him right there. But you know who might have saw all that happen? Oh, that was a very risky rejoin. You know who saw all that? Martel made a great move for 6th place right there as great move for 6. That's exactly what happened to Q. Tiago Martel from Will Redford in race number 1. So, you know, if you're Martel and you saw that, you'd be thinking karma big game-wise, but Martel finishing in 6th. Redford trying to get on the podium every race of today, but it's not going to be there. Brett Corder, Herberno to set the fastest lap of the race. You know, the duct tape seems to be really strong on that front right wheel. Right there, I need to know what brand of duct tape they're using because that car is flying right there. If you guys need any auto repairs, go to Herberno's pit crew right there because that is magic. Bartolota down in 28th, and Brian Force, last car out on track right there. The Delta Sport cars not happy, but look at this salute. 1, 2, and 3 for the Alkin team.
Damn, did Schnabel win all 3 races in the AM class today?
He did, yep.
He did.
Oh my goodness, good for him.
Yeah, I'll soon upload the results, and I might be able to take us through the points in a bit. But I imagine he will now be at the top of the championship because no one's had like a perfect round. I don't think Boberg was even around tonight. He was championship leader beforehand, so yeah, quite a change in that one as we see the results. Look at that, Architect 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Very quickly on the timing board. Redford in 4th position, and it was Newman. So Newman then did let past Redford at the end there after the collision. Redford moved back up into 4th. Newman in 5th. Marteau recovering well to Schnabel.
I need to say this stat. Martel fell down. He started 6th place, so on a time screen, he gained 0 positions. But Martel fell down to 23rd and got back to the place where he started at the front of this race. That is a outer-worldly drive by Martel, and it definitely needs to be highlighted.
Absolutely, yeah. Schnabel in top of the Yams once again. 3 top 10s for him. Really good stuff there from Schnabel in 7th place overall. Then it was Beer Winkler, who was running no rear wing, seemingly, like no rear wing pretty much. It was like yeah, width of an atom. But he wasn't especially quick tonight, Winkler, but I guess overtook a lot of drives. He finished in 9th. Then it was Aaron Smith, 2nd place out of the Yams. Munoz, Sandstrom, Rosenkrantz, Malishev, Gacine, Stuka, Reeve, Negretti was in 18th. Then it was Harley, Zuayen, Fowler, Moore, Roggenbuck, Hotham, Nicholson, Herbino, Accord, Bartolotta. These guys still on the lead lap. Vorse was the last driver on the lead lap. Last driver who will score points is Christian Glamsetzer. The retirees were Engelhardt, Phillimore, Blaze, Leclerc, Walsh, and Rivera. We should have some interviews with drivers now. I will be very self-centered and take the first one. I will drag up Maestro cover. It seemed like your pace was just immense tonight.
Yeah, so the setup that we're using today is quite low on the wing, so it's very on a knife's edge. So if you brake too late or you turn in too hard, it's just going to go around. Which is what happened in race 3 as well, and I nearly binned it into the wall. But yeah, race 1, yeah, it was good. It wasn't as smooth sailing as I'd liked. Bit of contact on the first lap, but there's nothing malicious there. And then obviously race 2, that was much better. Had a great fight with, was it Christoph? Good move into the little switch back into the chicane, and I got by him. And then race 3, I knew it was going to be difficult because we were starting, 10th, and that's where all the chaos has been happening for the past 2 races. So I was a bit cautious into turn 1 and into Le Combe, and that meant I got stuck behind quite a few people. And then I nearly spun it into the wall through the right-hander out of Le Combe, but saved it, and then it was a matter of just climbing back through the pack, which I did, and then I got sent into the wall at the chicane on the last lap, but managed to keep it again before.
We were very impressed by your overtake at the end of race 2. I mean, you talked about it a little bit right there, but was it, because you kind of got the cut back, was it tempting to try to go around the outside? Was that something that you'd learned through the race? What was kind of going through your mind when you were approaching the chicane on that last lap?
So obviously I knew, because I had such a fast car on the straight, that I could stay behind Christoph and wait for that last straight, which is what I did when he got by me down the first straight. And then coming into the chicane, I was planning to go around his outside, but when we hit the brakes, I saw that he braked a little bit too late, and if I tried to go around the outside, we would probably have contact because he was going deep. So it's sort of a split-second decision to just brake a little bit harder and go on the switchback round to the right, and then try and hold it around the left, and it worked out.
Next round, we have got Road America. Is that circuit a bit similar to this one? I mean, you got a few kind of longer radius corners, I guess. It's very high speed, or will you need to have quite a different setup on the car for that round of the championship?
I've not driven the track a whole lot. I don't think I've done an F3 race around there, but I've driven it in the Skippies and some other cars. I have a feeling it'll be similar with the low downforce, but I reckon you'll be able to get away with a higher downforce because you've got a lot of big braking zones where you can brake later, and then there's a few high-speed corners as well. But I reckon low downforce will probably be the way to go around there.
Awesome. Well, I wish you the best of luck. Will, is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
It's always shout out to you guys. You do a brilliant job on the broadcast. Shout out to everyone I was racing against today. It was nice and clean for the most part up front. Just a shame it's not completely clean all the way down the pack, but hopefully we can sort that out. And shout out to my team, Drive Dead Racing.
Awesome. Thanks for having a chat with us, Will, and we'll see you back next week.
Thank you.
Will Redford there, finishing first and fourth highest point scorer of the night by a significant margin. Austin, who are you having a chat with now?
Well, I'm standing by with the top amateur scorer here today, and not only top, he swept the top step of the amateur podium. Leonard Schnabel, you know, overall 6th, 8th, and 7th, but it's in the AMS category 1-1-1. How is this race for you? And you know, not only your first win, your first sweep too.
It was incredible. I had not that pace to go with the top guys, but it was just fantastic to know I could fight in the top 10 and just get those M wins.
The AM wins bring in a lot of points, and that really moves you up in the championship. You know, you started on the outside in 13th on race number 1. Can you bring back that race start? Because everything was going crazy around you, and you found yourself in the top 5 after that. What was going through your head?
Yeah, I saw a car spinning in La Source and just avoided that by, I don't know, 2 inch or something like that. And then in Radeon, there was a car flying in the air, and I had no idea where it's going. But luckily, I made it through, so it was quite good.
Well, next round, it is Road America. How are you looking forward to that? Are you looking to try to repeat this?
Yeah, I really like this track. It has a nice flow, and hopefully I could repeat this.
Awesome. Well, it was a amazing race by you. Before we let you go, anyone you want to thank?
I want to thank my parents. They're watching the stream right now, and just a quick shout out to them.
Well, I'm pretty sure they're going to be very proud of you. Congrats on an amazing race, and congrats on a wonderful finishing positions. Leonard Schnabel, Sam, over to you. I believe you're Tobias?
Yes. Well, who do I want to have a chat with? I want to have a chat with Nicholas Rasmussen because I've just uploaded the points, and I kind of underestimated how well Nicholas did because Will managed to get 124 points, but Nicholas managed to get 121 points, only 3 points behind, despite the fact that it was a second, a third, and a 12th, still extremely close to Redford's total point scoring. So congratulations out there, Nicholas. You must be really delighted with that around the championship.
Yeah, really thrilled, honestly. Didn't really come into this expecting too much, but yeah, it was really good. I'm super proud of the team Elgantech NHR getting a 1-2-3 in the final race. This is amazing for the team. Super proud of everybody who's on board working. Thanks to my teammate Toby, Kevin, Alex, who also does run the team, and everybody making this happen. Super proud of the team effort today.
Definitely. I mean, Kevin in particular in that race 3 pretty much nailed it. I mean, he was very quick in race 1 and race 2, got himself into that reverse grid pole. But yeah, he managed to sprint away. We haven't seen Kevin too much, as far as I'm aware, at least on Apex Racing TV. So it was good to see him mixing it with yourself and Tobias.
Yeah, I mean, he joined quite late for the championship, and so we could have 3 cars. So I'd like to say a special thank you to him for putting in the effort despite having limited time. And yeah, Toby obviously got a win today as well, and I would have loved to gotten one as well, but wasn't quite enough. My race 2 was a bit messy and got P3 in the first race and second in the final race. So overall, I'm happy. I'm thinking about the championship. I had a terrible race last week at the Hungaroring, so I need to make up some ground. So quite honestly, this year is just what I need. So very happy with that.
Absolutely. Yeah, it seemed like you guys were a bit more competitive for this round of the championship. I mean, yourself in particular seemed to be, right up there with, Tobias, with Will. There didn't seem to be anyone who was clearly faster than you tonight. Do you think you particularly nailed the setup for this round of the championship? Do you think you're going to be able to keep kind of this level of pace up for the rest of the rounds?
I mean, it's difficult to say. You know, obviously some tracks are going to suit us better than others. And, you know, we are going to take it race by race and do the very best we can each and every time. And we can't do anything more than that. So we're going to focus on the little details, and hopefully we can have more of these strong results. That's at least the aim.
Absolutely. Well, is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to, Nicholas?
Well, I think I managed to give a shout out to everybody in the team. So again, so proud to be in Elgin Tech NHR. I want to give a shout out to you guys running the championship and the broadcast. I think everybody appreciates the effort that's being put into it. Sorry, and we're happy to support Apex Racing League. And yeah, thanks guys.
Awesome. Thanks for talking with us, Nicholas. Best of luck at Road America.
Thank you very much. See you there.
Nicholas Rasmussen with a 3rd, a 12th, and a 2nd tonight. Austin, I think we've got time for one more interview. I'm not sure if Austin's there.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. I double muted my microphone. I'm standing by with Tobias Olsland. And Tobias, what a race. What a day you had. You know, first race, serving a penalty, starting 29th. You finished 8th. Second race, starting 8th. You finished 3rd. And then third race, starting 8th again. You come home to win it. How was today for you? And I'm pretty sure you had the most boring race out there compared to everybody else.
Oh yeah, this is pure magic, I would say. It was kind of starting from the pits. I wasn't expecting to get in the top 10, maybe top 15, but some people were crashing around the lap I saw, so made some positions up and then took some people right at the end there. And I was like, P8, oh shit, that's damage limitation. So, perfect. Then went on to race 2, thinking, just need to take good points, don't take any risks, and just, yeah, P3 is perfect, I would say. And then last race, damage limitation deluxe, I think.
Damage limitation deluxe, supersized plus awards program. Absolutely the best damage limitation you've ever had. You won the race.
Yeah.
By 2 seconds. And it's not only you won the race, you and your teammates locked out the podium.
Yeah, absolutely magic from us doing that. And going, yeah, it was, we were like screaming afterwards. It's a really nice feeling.
Hey, I wouldn't blame you for celebrating, running around, and just flying a flag outside, because that was a fantastic race you three had up there, and what a fantastic race. Next race, it is Road America. How you feeling about that?
It will be interesting. I think I don't have driven the F3s much there, so... But yeah, just gonna do full send. And yeah.
All right. Well, full send it is, but before I let you practice those full send moves, anyone you want to thank?
Thanks to the team and thanks to you guys. Thanks.
All right. Well, thank you for putting on an amazing show. Congrats on the win and the podium out there and the damage limitation. You have yourself a good afternoon. Adam, any closing thoughts?
No, not really. I mean, this is obviously my first broadcast with you guys, so thank you for having me in, and thank you everybody for putting on an amazing race. All 3 races, I saw cars fly higher than I don't think I've ever been able to see cars fly before. Saw some great overtakes. Watched Tobias come up slowly, starting from race 1, and his damage limitation, quote unquote, would be probably the best race I've ever had in my life. So congrats to him for race 3, and congrats to the team for taking 1, 2, 3 in the final race. And no, unbelievable race all around. So yeah, thank you guys, and thank you to the drivers for putting that on.
What a fantastic race and what a fantastic show. We were all greeted here today for round 3 of the Apex Racing Academy Formula 3 Super Series. Definitely living up to the name. Round 4 will be at Road America next week for the 25-minute 2-race format. Don't miss it, as it's going to be an amazing ride. Thank you everybody for joining us here today. I've been joined by Sam Fitzpatrick with Adam Thompson in the commentary booth, the one, the only Marco Bobanera in the production booth, and I'm Austin Knight, and I hope y'all have a good night.